Oh, baby, even the refs can't wait for our plays of the week. Who says the NHL's violent? Dancing has replaced fighting. And when the others are dancing, Craig Simpson says, thanks very much, I'll just keep on playing. Those guys along the boards are fighting. Watch Simpson. He comes in and scores a goal. That's a great play, but not nearly as great as this one. What a beautiful goal by Phil Bourne. Starts out at his own end, over the blue line, beats one man, then three defenders are there. He beats them all, and then he does the fitting thing. He beats the goaltender. What a beautiful play. You want a beautiful play in basketball? Look at this. This is Kenny Anderson of Georgia Tech. He looks like Curly Neal of the Harlem Globetrotters. What a beautiful play. Some buzzer beaters now. First of all, Michael Jordan, not only a buzzer beater, but a steal and a buzzer beater to boot. But here's the buzzer beater of the week. Danny Young, Portland Trail Blazers. And there's the buzzer, and what a fine shot that was. Here's the dish of the week. Kevin Johnson in behind Vladdy Divac, who probably feels like he should go back to Europe. Okay, Bobby Hansen says, you guys got it all wrong. These are supposed to be foul shots, and his really were. Darrell Griffith, apparently Mike Brown and he were having a fight. He makes the shot, and Brown takes it out. Now, you want a team that looked like the Globetrotters. How about the New York Knicks? They start at one end, they go the other way, and they throw the ball around beautifully. The dancing continues, and our new sport this week is putting empty cups in the back of a drunk man. Of course, if they were filled, he'd probably wake up and drink them. You want some monster shots? How about this monster hit? Watch John Heggie on Irving Fryer. Oh, what a hit that is. Bill Parcells and Pepper Johnson says the key to coaching is put your heads together. What a great catch this is by Ernest Finer. It's the runner-up for catch of the week, but here's the beauty. Jesse Hester steals the ball, flips it over the defender, and then makes a one-hand catch. And here's the Jets defender. You might say he was undressed on the play. And Craig Berube and Troy Crowder say, hey, how about a little dirty dancing? Now, those punches are nothing compared to this one. This boxer is sent out into orbit. And Vladdy Divac says, I finally made plays of the week.
Up with a Rob Thomas sandwich, courtesy of the Raiders. How about James Jett? Almost has his head sent into orbit. There it goes. Emil Harry, crunched by Eddie Anderson. Crunch. And some hits on the ice as well to show you. Say hello to Darren Turcotte. Steve Smith, flattening Wayne Presley. And Paul Gillis is lined up and absolutely positively nailed by Sylvain Cote. And there's a lucky fan with a souvenir embedded in his stomach. And referees can find themselves in the line of fire often, too. Ron Hogarth laid out by Ron Sutter. They're not safe in the football field either. A definite flag on that play. Big-time flag. Nothing foul about this action, though. Calvin Williams in the tip with the touchdown catch. And Terrence Flagler, head over heels about his touchdown run. And now on to the hardwood. And some high-flying action. Or how about James Worthy, who needed some good news this week? Fancy shot here. Kurt Rambis with the trick shot coming after the whistle. Too bad it didn't count. The fancy passing of the week, Isaiah Thomas through traffic to Mark Aguirre. Magic Johnson behind the back to Terry Teagle. And what's that, you say? You looking for some more action? How about the Spurs in the fast break? Willie Anderson up and down Terry Cummins. Wonder if Kurt Rambis argued about this foul call. Now back to the ice, where things were going badly for the Nordiques. Even their Zamboni gets stuck. When a second one couldn't jar it loose, the mascot had to take a run at it. It's getting bad. Pat LaFontaine undressing Mike Richter. And finally, one last thing to chomp on. It's not over until Milli Vanilli sings, which mercifully isn't all that often anymore.
It's Rent a Chicken to ward off the evil spirits. Watch the left ankle of Junior Ortiz. Twisted, right ankle, twisted. Junior Ortiz should have rented the chicken. Give him the number. It's 1-800-CHICKEN. Then pass it over to Dave Magadan. Watch him. He avoids the splintered bat, then gets hit by the ball in the face. That allows the winning run to score. Must seem to the opposition like Magic Johnson's possessed with an evil spirit. What a great pass that was to Vladdy Divac. Meanwhile, a guy who's been possessed for years, Michael Jordan. But there was a slam competition this week in Major League Baseball. Here's one of the winners, Bip Roberts. Nice job. Here's one of the runner-ups. In a different category, it's Andy Van Slyke. Very well done. Not quite as well done by Jay Buhner. Come on, Jay, that's a set shot. You're supposed to slam the thing. Now, actually, this was his Bill Laimbeer imitation. Okay, Jay, one more time. Yeah, we'll give you one more opportunity. Okay, one more after that. Jay, get out of here. That is absolutely brutal. Meanwhile, Gabriella Sabatini says, hey, Mary Pierce, you got to keep your eye on the ball. And Mary Pierce says, Read your lips. I wasn't ready. I think we could tell. Ben Crenshaw was ready for this shot. Kemper open. Watch it. It takes 1, 2, 3 rolls, and it goes in. The crowd was yelling, it's in the cup. Actually, there was no crowd. Not much communication between these outfielders. Milt Kyler says, hey, Tony Phillips, stay out of my way or I'll elbow you in the head. Sammy Sosa said this week, I fallen and I can't get up. This was the week that Tommy Lasorda changed diets. It's the Monty Hall diet. But the play of the week, yeah, you knew it had to be here. Rodney McRae, run, Rodney, run. And don't plays like that just make your hair stand on end?
I'm excited. How about you?
You bet, Donnie. I'm excited because we're going to start with a bang. Our usher of the week is this guy. They said, hey, take your chair and get out of here. And he did. Our catch of the week that wasn't Brady Anderson. Now, what's Jay Hawks doing? Think about it. Is he praying? We'll tell you. Remember Chris Collingsworth, wide receiver in the NFL, known to be zany? Well, this week he's a commentator at Wimbledon. And he went for the all-time Wimbledon record for the furthest slide by a guy wearing a suit. And he actually broke the record. But he broke his own record then climbing onto a motorcycle. Watch this slide. It is outstanding. Back to Jay Hawks. If you said looking for loose change, but stay with it. Our creative pickoff move of the week is got to be David Cohen. And this week they're actually practicing a new sport, synchronized audience in Atlanta. It will catch on for the Olympics. The longest run on a ground ball's got to be Alfredo, don't call me Adolfo Griffith. Should have been a night at first, 1 error, 2 errors, and then he comes all the way home. And Tommy Lasorda says, hey, that's great, that's better than low-fat pasta. We're still not sure what Jay Hawks is doing, but it's sure caught on. You know, I don't know why the Kansas City Royals are no good. They're so smooth. Look at Kevin Seitzer and watch Chris Gibson in left. Okay, the hot new sport this week is hockey on bikes. And far and away the best player, yes, he's an import from Canada, he's Mario Lemieux. And watch this goal by Lemieux. And here's the run. And Mario went to the White House for a meeting with Mr. Hockey. And you are Mario Lemieux talking about, well, why had that trailer? I think that's a stupid question. Time now for first video of the Ruddock Tyson fight. Not as good as first anticipated. Hey, sorry, Mike Tyson, but you weren't great. You didn't take it well.
Michael Jordan's a great golfer. Then why is he hitting out of a trap, and why is he hitting onto the golf cart path? His arch enemy, Bill Laimbeer, doesn't do much better.
Oh, I shanked it.
I think you called it perfectly, Bill.
Boris Becker doesn't keep a stiff upper lip at Wimbledon. Michael Steach is much cooler, showing off a few tricks like the roll of the racket and a little bit of dribbling. People a little more mischievous this week. Bobby Valentine planting some seeds on Jose Guzman. A cameraman plants seeds on Rex Hudler. And Muhammad Ali obviously doesn't believe in recycling. That paper should go in the bin. Always the economist, Ozzie Guillen, doesn't believe in wasting an out. Turning to here. Andy Van Slyke makes the spectacular appear routine. Mel Hall with a rare diving catch. And check out Jack Clark's home run off Walt Terrell. He bounces it right off the Moose's antlers. There was a 2-for-1 sale at Wrigley. 2 pickoffs on 1 throw. First Ryan Sandberg, then Jose Lean. Joe Carter's an all-star for the Blue Jays, but apparently he's having trouble handling it. Hard luck for Carlton Fisk. First, Jack McDowell trips him, then he gets hit by the ball. But when you talk about bad plays, the Expos have cornered the market. First, Ivan Calderon drops the ball. Then Calderon and Marquise Grissom get their signals crossed. Then Dave Martinez blows an easy catch. The fans are obviously displeased. What's a general manager to do? Word is he's trying to deal for Mike Scott.
If only the genuine stuff makes plays of the week, like Charles Barkley, who came up with a genuinely low blow on the Philly Fanatic, and then an even lower blow, he steals his girlfriend. Okay, enough of this silly stuff. Let's go to some great plays like Jody Reed. Outstanding diving play on Kirby Puckett, and he guns him out. How about Jory Cora, ranging way to his left, makes the play on Franklin Stubbs. Ken Griffey, every single week, I think we've got a Ken Griffey highlight. Andy Van Slyke on a bi-weekly basis. Look at him go up over the wall and rob the hitter of a home run. This one not quite as smooth, but at least Pedro Guerrero hung on for the catch. How about Oral Hershiser? Maybe he's lost a little bit off his fastball. He hits Lonnie Smith, and it kind of hits there and sticks, and it doesn't bother Smith at all. With a fastball like that, he could be playing old-timers ball before long and make nice plays like Reggie Jackson. Or athletic plays like, and I've been waiting to say this for years, hey, you're Boog Powell. Okay, let's go to golf, and this one clearly isn't the shot of the week by Amy Alcott, but if you want the incredible shot, let's go to bowling and the 7-10 split.
Oh, he made it! The third time!
You know, since Darryl Strawberry left New York, the Mets have been looking for someone to fill his very big shoes, and they may have found him in Mackey Sasser.
There's a drive to right field. Mackey's going back, going back, going back. What a catch by Mackey Sasser! Unbelievable!
And if the double play isn't enough, how about ending the inning with another great catch?
Well, they're going to try him. Now, he's not going to get this baby, is he? He's back at the wall and makes the play! Mackey Sasser likes it out there.
Yes, Rick Cerrone, believe it or not, Mackey Sasser made our plays of the week twice.
Mariano Duncan just couldn't watch. Rob Dibble couldn't do anything but watch. Randy Myers, Lou Piniella, they had trouble communicating. All the result of a bad streak. Communication always important between horse and rider. Maybe these two are Reds fans. Execution important in baseball. You have to concentrate on the play. Make sure you think ahead and be aware of what's going on around you. The same is true in gymnastics. You have to have perfect concentration and body control. Speaking of body control, how about George Bell's little brother Juan? As graceful as they come. Maybe our major leaguers need a little hypnosis to help them concentrate. It certainly seems to be working for Tom Pagnosi. And Kirby Puckett. He went through hypnosis twice. Harold Reynolds approves. Kirk Gibson, though, wishes that Joe Ursula would concentrate just a little less. Maybe Kirk concentrates too much. Boston has slumped so much the fans are coming out just to show they care. And some fans are so convinced they can play better than the Sox, they're doing anything for a tryout. Buck and Huey are so excited about the Blue Jays, they would walk a mile for a camel. Former CFLer Major Harris having trouble gripping the smaller ball in the Arena Football League, but it doesn't seem to hurt him here. Rocket Ishmael, no problem with the larger ball of the Canadian League, and he seems to be enjoying the bigger field as well as he goes 73 yards on the reverse. And then there's Major Harris. Well, still having trouble getting a grip, but he's getting over it. Now, you would think that Gizmo Williams of the Eskimos would be used to the ball by now, but apparently not. And Major Harris, this time he drops the ball and gets stuck. But the best stick of the week comes in the British Open. Brian Marshback, who sticks it right in the hole. And Jennifer Capriati says, hats off to Brian.
With our Plays of the Week fashion report. Apparently it's big in Europe. And our Plays of the Week crime report. You thought it was bad outside Yankee Stadium. This was the week where cohesiveness was very much in evidence. Not so much in the infield and definitely not in the outfield. Hey, Vaughn Hayes, I'm going to book this guy for my kid's next birthday party. Is he a great juggler or what? Some neat plays last week, like Ken Caminiti, the hurdler, or Kevin Brown. Behind the back, tip it up, and throw to first. Routine. Some players made things a lot more difficult, but it sure was fun. Bobby Bonilla gets all twisted around. And how about Steve Lyons? Kevin Elster was smooth this week. Watch the slide and the catch. The only way to do that. This was the week of the triple play by the Seattle Mariners. That's one, that's two, and, well, was that two? But we'll call them safe. And this was the week that Cecil Fielder brought new meaning to the word. He got it all. And the sound of the ball on the bat, I think, woke up Sparky Anderson for a second or two. And, you know, Doug Flutie's such a kidder. While scrambling around, he decided to pat the referee on the bum. That didn't work out so well. The catch of the week's got to be Desmond Howard helping Michigan defeat Notre Dame. What a catch. Or Emmett Smith, surrounded by the Washington Redskins. Whoa, he finds a seam, and now Emmett put it in high gear. Time now for a word from our sponsor. It's the Hair Club for Men. And nobody runs the option interception better than Wilbur Marshall. Look at Wilbur Ramble. I mean, this guy should have been a rugby player. He goes all the way for the score. You know, they say they can't keep a good man down. That describes Anthony Carter. He's down. Whoa, he's up again. Have you ever seen that play happen before? Let's go to golf and some great shots and not so great. Here's the great. Nancy Scranton with the eagle at the Du Maurier. It bounces. I always whisper when you talk about golf. Once, twice, and then in the cup. How about Jeff Bloom, who says, I got a bad lie. I got to improve it. And he did. Maybe the worst putt of the week by the Shark, Greg Norman. Not even close. Aren't you thinking, I could have done that? And Andre Agassi, he found a new weapon this week. And it's the special, the all-new Halloween edition of Plays of the Week, where all the big names were there, from politics, from entertainment. In fact, it looked like a college football game. So paint your faces, and let's get ready for some fun. Let's go trick or treating. And this was the week when there were many tricks and many treats. For receivers, all kinds of treats. Look at Pete Holohan. He gets a gift. But there were far greater gifts than that. Wesley Carroll says, thanks very much for the treat. And Chris Burkett, it touches one hand, two hands, three hands, and then finally his hands. But the biggest treat of all, Michael Haynes in the end zone for the Atlanta Falcons. Make this Michael White Shoes Haynes because he wins it right there. But there were some treats as well for receivers, like Todd Wiseman's treat on Matt Clark. Get ready, and boom. Thanks for coming to the door, Matt. Now, let's slide over to some winter sports. And John Cullen asked the question this week, is it better to give than to receive? Well, John Cullen gave this week, but he also received, like this, from Tim Shovelday. Thanks very much, Tim. Enjoyed it. Not all goaltenders were giving things away. Like Andy Moak, look at the save on Wayne Gretzky, labeled for the corner. But the save of the week, actually two saves of the week by Kelly Rudy. Watch his left pad extend and extend. That could hurt a guy. What a beautiful save, and so is the second one. You know it's dangerous when there's a full moon over a hockey rink. How about Owen Nolan with the mugging of the year on Joe Sorella? And the worst thing about this, no penalty. Ref, come on. And if there's a full moon over the Boston Garden, that can mean big trouble. I guess Detroit and Boston were probably saying, hey, old-time hockey, right? Well, let's do it. And can these guys do it or what? Bob Probert and Stefan Cantel. Cost them 10 games, but they had some fun. Now, in the NBA, they say you can't play zone defenses. So Ramil Robinson says, what shall we do? Well, how about the shoe defense? Well, it was Halloween this week. Perhaps the best costume this week, Elijah Tillery in the black trunks. He went dressed as a boxer. Don't think that Riddick Bowe was too crazy about his costume. Well, before we go, Freddie, one more thing to do. We'll show you the camera work of the year. Watch this cameraman hang in there, take the shot, and he never lost his focus. Actually, that sounds somewhat spiritual. Start things out with a bang, and who better to get it started than Ron Hextall? Somebody yelled something from the rails to Ed Belfour, and he says, take that. Speaking of bangers, is there anyone tougher than Bob Probert? Get ready, and boom! And here's one of the young candidates. How about Matthew Schneider, who just says, hey, don't touch the puck, let me have it. Now, let's get back to the goaltenders and some great saves this week. Jacques Cloutier gets the benefit of the post and then makes a beauty. And how about Ron Hextall? Not one, but two, and afterwards said, hey, that's more fun than hitting someone over the head. Some bullet drives this week, like Dino Ciccarelli. Yeah, top corner. Same sort of thing from Rick Tocchet. Watch the rolling puck, and boom, what a shot by Tocchet. And then another bullet drive from Dave Hannon. With the bullet drive of the week from Peter Stastny. Watch him rifle this shot. Okay, Peter.
Stastny. Peter Stastny flips it in. Score! They tied the game!
Wonder who they were rooting for. Worst play of the week in the NFL, Lorenzo White loses the ball, loses his helmet, and almost loses his head. Okay, let's go to some happy people like Rick Venturi and like Ian Halfield.
I'm so happy that I was part of this organization, and the players were great to me, and I just wish I had a chance to say thanks to them because no one blamed me for that game, and they were all supportive, and that helps a lot.
Or Chuck Knobloch, who couldn't contain himself after being named Rookie of the Year.
Thank you very much. All right. Wow. Wow, that's great. Thank you.
Wow, perhaps he needs a slap in the face like this. This was the week where the tip drill actually paid off. On Saturday, the Stanford Cardinals made it work. And the Buffalo Bills apparently were watching because on Sunday, the Bills delivered the same sort of thing. Now, in New Orleans, where was Chicken Little? They needed someone to say, the sky's falling, the sky's falling. Speaking of fire, on fire, Mark Rippon, Washington Redskins. Not one touchdown, not two, not three, not four, not five, but six. Always knew Canadians could play quarterback. And here's a replay of one of the Falcons really taking it on the chin. But that wasn't the best uppercut of the week. This one might have been. Rick Fox would certainly agree. You know, those rims are so temperamental. Look at Derek Coleman. He says, hey, there's got to be a lid on this thing. I mean, he can't even ram it down. He's making $15 million, and he's told his friend Shaquille O'Neal at LSU, hey, Shaq, do something about those rims. Make him pay the price. And you know what? Shaq.
All right, time to blast off with the plays of the week, but what goes up must come down. Just ask Mark Messier. If you can't knock him down with your stick, just try an elbow. Igor Larionov. It was a bad week for Soviets in the NHL. Alexander Godinyuk does his best imitation of a punching bag. Oh, Lou Borzink will be happy anyways. Smoking Bert Cooper with some lessons on how to land the big punch here. And the best call, the goal of the week.
Donnelly threw it in front, he scored! No, he didn't. Yes, he did. The light went on.
Beautiful day in Winnipeg for Grey Cup 91, wasn't it? And no one can throw beer cans like those football fans watching the game. They said it was a snowball. Haven't seen too many Labatt snowballs around of you. And whoops, a little bit of snow on that ball. And can you really blame Mark Jackson? No snow, but lots of interference. Not even a big hit can stop Anthony Carter from hauling in a touchdown pass, though. Heisman Trophy candidate Desmond Howard of Michigan shows everyone why he should win the award. For the catch of the week, or maybe the year, Miami's Mark Clayton while lying down on the job. And Jim McMahon says, if I'm going to lie down on the job, I want to drink as well. Take your pick. All right, time to jump to the NBA and some big-time blocks. Watch Clyde Drexler deliver the rejection slip there. And Charles Barkley not once, but make that 2 times against the Knicks. But then again, Xavier McDaniel gets some revenge with an outstanding shot. There were coaches losing their minds all over the place in the NBA this week, like Chuck Daly of the Pistons. And watch this great no-look pass. Larry Bird to Robert Parrish. Easy 2. That's enough to give any coach a bit of a headache. And our TSN equine of the week, Howard the Swimming Horse. Nice 1.5 gainer.
Of the ice with Chris Wittes, who puts this between the legs pass right on the stick of Peter Drews. He whacks it in for the goal. Ernie and Bert came up for a little one-on-one round ball this week. They were pretty good, but they couldn't compare with this. A 70-footer at the buzzer by Mike Gardner, and swish, money in the bank. Welcome, 1-0.
Gotta like Mike Ditka, who demanded that his players do something to make plays of the week. They didn't, but Calvin Martin certainly did, and he likely wishes he hadn't done anything and likely can't remember. This one might be the hit of the year from Gary Jones. Speaking of hits, Laurier receiver Andrew Scharschmidt had to feel like he was hit by a Messerschmitt. You know, the Rams can certainly hit on specialty teams. Look at that one. Unfortunately, the Rams can't seem to do much else on specialty teams. This is just brutal. Now, this bag, the one the Rams fan was wearing, could catch on in Indy. Colts think it's touch football. They say, hey, we touched Leroy Hoard. We touched Leroy Hoard. Now, one guy says, whoa, wait a second, it's two-hand touch. Now I really got him. Worst pass of the year? Maybe this one from Jeff George. Putrid. There were some great catches this week. That one didn't have to be, but watch this one by Flipper Anderson. What a beauty. Let's give that one a 9 in the catch-o-meter. This one, though, from Tony Martin, that's a 10. This could be the play of the year. Now, keep your eye on the center for Mount Allison. No, don't watch the quarterback. Watch the center. Still got the ball between his legs. Great camera work here. He gets the ball to Grant Keeney, who scores the touchdown. That one might be the play of the year. Certainly the fumble-rooski of the year. Not that there were many candidates. Here's the trick pass of the year in the NHL. Bork off the boards to Stefan Quintel. Our fan of the week, from Sylvain Lefebvre to Bobby Carpenter. Some quality stick work this week in the NHL, like Mark Tenorti on Claude Loisel. And then Gary Lehman comes to his friend's rescue and, boom, right on the head of Tenorti. Meanwhile, Brian Benning's pretty smart. Peter Stastny said, hey, I'm going to hit you with my stick, so he stole a stick. And then Stastny with a vicious left, then right. Yeah, real vicious. Some buzzer beaters. At the buzzer. That's Lance Blanks, not shooting blanks. Tyrell Brandon. At the buzzer. Good. The kid says, hey, stop with the buzzer, Landsberg. You're killing my ears. The dance of the week. It's not Andy Cicchini. It's this guy. We always choose fat guys for dance of the week.
With Eric Lindros trying to de-unify them. How about Dave Tippett? The hit applauded around the world. What a brutal ref. In bobsledding, someone yelled, hey, Canada, it's 3 men, not 4. And we adapted nicely. The unified team got all their guys in. They just didn't get them all in the right order. You know, the next Olympics are going to be much tougher to qualify for, and athletes continue to train for the demonstration sport of costume bowling. I think it'll catch on. Let's go to hockey. Here's the goal of the week, not by Steve Yzerman, but it is Steve Yzerman. While the forwards were in the net, the goaltenders were looking like forwards. And what's this that Pat Burns is doing? Never seen him do that before. Not all the goalies were smooth like Craig Billington. Oops. How about Ron Hextall? Really impressed us with his maturity here. He took it well. Unfortunately, the medication wore off, and then he went back to his old self. But clearly, he missed his calling. He would have been a great wood chopper. Look at the form. And how about Daniel Berthiaume? He certainly made it interesting, shall we say. That was weak, but watch this save. That's outstanding. How about Tim Shovelday? Look at this one. The question is, did he intend to do it? What a glove hand. Speaking of glove hands, Darcy Wakaluk with a beauty. And Daniel Berthiaume wasn't the only Bruin goalie having fun. Lyle Odeline apparently just hasn't grasped the use of the equipment that well. And Garth Butcher trying to live up to his name. I think he did. Interesting line change by Jeremy Roenick. Kind of missed the bench. How about Tom Watson? Watch this amazing chip. Not. Let's go to basketball now. Here's the pass of the week. What a beauty. No question, that was it. Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. For the shot of the week, tough call. Here's the runner-up. Nice bucket, Tracy Adams. All the stars came out for the shot of the week. It is amazing. This guy, forget his name, it doesn't count. Underneath the basket, throws it. One man's hand. It goes off his teammate's head and in. Now, that's really using your... No, that's too predictable.
Everybody's flipping out over the return of the baseball season.
This might have a chance. Amaro to the wall, and he got it. Deep left center field. Reimer and Cangelosi. Cangelosi! Back. He makes the catch! Justice. Clayton. Got him.
If you think that was a bad start, how about Dave Hollins? Not one bad play, but two. No reason to celebrate the Hollins days and his start to the season. Hey, Bill James, what do you think?
I also...
Yeah, Jody, know what you mean. He could put me to sleep, too. Who's the hottest guy in sports right now? Hot Lips. No, not Houlihan. This guy. It's Fred Couples. Watch him here. Out of the bunker. The chip, yeah, it's in. But Couples wasn't the only one. Jeff Sluman. Look at this putt as it turns left, turns left, turns left. Bill James, what do you think, babe?
In
the NBA, Jerome Kersey mails his long-distance buzzer beater. Ramil Robinson welcomes you to his neighborhood. And Michael Jordan. Oh, you've seen this before. Hey, Bill, isn't he something? Man, who forgot to charge the battery? Get that Zamboni going. The hockey season's back. And at TSN, we talk to everybody during the strike. Yeah, everybody. Alexei Kasatonov gets a great role over Jim Krivnak. Pavel Bure makes...
Raised eyebrows before in the plays of the week, but how about hats? With NFL camp starting to open, Bill Clinton is showcasing his arm to his trusty receiver Al Gore. What do you think your chances are of becoming an NFL quarterback?
It wasn't a pretty picture.
But this is Paul McKinley during the opening round of the British Open. Drops it right down. And this is beautiful. Ace. Hey, too bad this guy missed that shot. I'll drink to that. Drink to this, too. Keith Gray jamming it up at the WBL All-Star Game. The Great White Shark circling for a birdie. So was his ball. He really blew that one. The McEnroe meter working well. He may become a human Geiger counter after he retires. Strange behavior here by Peter Korda. Nice, but wrong sport. Hey, check out the Texas Rangers' new bullpen. Can't get anyone to go into the games. Best catch of the week, not the ball, the elbow. And now to a new sport. In the world of thoroughbreds, this is full contact horse racing. What do you think? Were there any winners? In Japan, a bare butt is common nature, although I wouldn't want a ringside seat for this match. But you don't expect it in boxing. A little show there from Riddick Bowe peeking out on the left-hand side. Of course, we accompany that with a low blow. And here's another one where you can almost feel the pain. What do you think, Craig Biggio? Yeah, my sentiments exactly. Now for some great defense. Mike Bordick from his stomach helped start the double play. And then it's Bordick again, closing up the gap. Base hit denied. from the hot corner. Dave Magadan from his knees all the way to get Matt Williams. Pat Howell and his horse, he's going back, hits the wall and hangs on, but this is the definite gem of the week.
He's breaking for home. This could tie the game. Here's the throw. Now he's blocked it home.
They blocked the play really well. Bad week for anyone in a position of authority. Steve Ripley gets hit, believe it or not. Then check this one out, ref. Get a good look at it. Yeah, that's right. Fortunately, cooler heads prevailed. Oh, that's awful. Sorry. Even the grounds crews got into it, and it was a bad week for the ball girls as well. What's going on? Even the ball players were struggling to stay on their feet, even the primetime ones. Bad week to even ride a bike. As a matter of fact, it was a bad week to do just about anything in terms of riding. Always a bad week to try to get a shot of John McEnroe. You know, hat day at the ballpark, not just what it used to be. Not even for the players. And speaking of hats, put a little chip and dip in this one for Brad Faxon. And speaking of chips, Big John Daly had a great one, and amazing when you consider the touch he showed with a driver. Duffy Waldorf lived up to his name. Greg Norman could have been a player of the game in Blue Jay baseball, would have got the weed eater, could have used it. Speaking of killing weeds, Dick Schofield doing just that. Pete Smith apparently saw a weed on Rich Gedsman's head, and Jeff Hewson just a wild man.
High throw. It's over everything now.
Ever play with an imaginary runner? How about the imaginary third baseman? I think Ken Hill was seeing him. Okay, kids, stay awake. This is getting good. Jose Lean says, hey, Orlando, get back to first. I'm going to need you there. And he did for plays like this. Actually, there were some great plays. You saw the bad one by Dick Schofield, but check out this one. And Lou can still do. Great second baseman, Robbie Alomar, rocking and rolling, and Junior Ortiz getting rocked and then doing some rolling of his own. Jose Canseco's made a lot of bad plays, but this one's not bad. And speaking of weasels...
5-5, Castro!
Pierre says, wasn't he in my cabinet? All right, nice to see horses thinking for themselves these days. Originally, this horse was going to grab something to eat with a big race coming up, and then he said, you know what? I feel good. I feel strong. I think I'll place a little wager down on myself. So what's the studio audience think of this week's Plays of the Week? Yeah, that's you, lady. What do you think?
I'm not leaving without my money. I came 300 miles for this.
Yeah, same to you, lady, and nice hat. This guy's got the right idea. Doesn't go anywhere without his TV.
The unbelievable in sports, Phil Mickelson, behind and under a tree. This one is going right in the hole. Shot of the year. And speaking of great shots, we've got plenty of them from the hardwood this week. Anywhere from half court to almost full court shots. And then there's Doc Rivers.
And Rivers fires and hits.
Watch Chris Mullen have some fun. He bounces one in off the floor, then tosses it over his shoulder and makes it look easy. Bobby Hurley also makes it look easy with a great pass underneath. Charlie Ward says, hey, I can do that too. But our pass of the week comes from hockey. How about this Dave Gagne behind his back setting up a goal? Rob Ramage shows us how it's not done with a brutal giveaway that led to a goal. Good thing that Ramage does not play for Bobby Knight. Okay, it's time to get airborne for our hits of the week. B.J. Armstrong shows us how high a human can bounce off the hardwood. Absolutely everyone was getting knocked down this week. Just ask Joe Mullen and Gary Suter. A pair of devils enjoy an oats sandwich. But our hit of the week is not from hockey, but from figure skating. Oh, that hurts. No one is hurting more than Senators fans these days, and it's easy to see why. How many whalers does it take to stop a puck from bouncing? Well, we still haven't figured that one out. Some great saves this week. Watch Ken Reagan rob Joe Nieuwendyk on the penalty shot. John Blue really uses his head on this save. And this is our team player of the week, taking one right in the face. Now that seems to get everybody fired up, including the goaltenders who show us why they don't fight very often. No one really wanted any part of this sumo champion, except, of course, Jeremy Roenick, who would love to get a piece of him if he could use a weapon. And finally, Carl Lewis follows in a long line of athletes turned singers.
And the Rockets, red flag. Uh-oh. I'll make up for it now.
No need to hide, Derek. Everyone else is laughing, too. Frustrated NASCAR drivers Kyle Petty and Bobby Hillen are determined to make NASCAR racing a full contact sport. Al Iafrate is one of the fastest skaters in the NHL, and he thought he could skate faster than world champion speed skater Kathy Turner. Turner answered the challenge, cruised to an easy win, and served some humble pie to Big Al. Now, you know you're having a bad day when your champion show dog can walk on a straight line better than you can. My goodness, how embarrassing. Here, Fido. It was also a tough week for the mascot of the Denver Nuggets. After he gets beat up by 7 kids, Scott Hastings adds insult to injury. Speaking of tough, Eric Lindros is turning into a human wrecking ball. Down goes Bertie Nichols. Down goes Mark Lamb. Scott Stevens hits the glass in round 1. But Stevens comes back to take round 2. But right there, Eric gets the last lap in round 3. To basketball, the Boston Celtics just don't get the respect they once did now that Larry Bird is gone. Great passes of the week, Isaiah Thomas. Michael Adams around the back to Buck Johnson. And the Charlotte Hornets make this hoop look as easy as...
Extra-curricular-picadillos.
Try to say extra-curricular-picadillos 10 times. Your attention, please. Do not try this at home. I repeat, this man is a professional. Do not try this at home. Don't try this either. Rusty Wallace's car spins airborne and flips over 8 times before coming to a stop on the infield at the Daytona 500. Miraculously, Wallace was able to walk away from the accident. To golf now. Jay Haas tries to go for the green in 2 on a long par 5.
And this is a definite gamble for Jay. The short hitter on tour, and he's going for it. So let's see how he does. And he's looking down. I don't know what that means. Oh, geez, I don't know what that was.
Funny call. No water shots for Tom Kite. He preferred the sand on his way to a winning score of 35 under par at the Bob Hope Classic. Dancing Gabe wants to see more hockey, so here we go.
Penalty to referee Paul Stewart. 2 minutes for holding the stick.
Goal of the week. Pat LaFontaine with a brilliant feed to Alexander McGillney. Beauty. And time to place your bets for the Monkey Mule races. They're at the post. They're up. This one goes right down to the wire. There's a little bumping at the finish, but Curious George wins by half a length. Or at least sting a little. Ouch. Don't you just hate when that happens? Hey, buddy, let's keep it above the waist. And how about that Chuck Daly? So suave, so debonair, so well-dressed, so long. Speaking of clothes, let's get this man a jacket and get this man a job, maybe at Chippendales. Hey, Ted, maybe he can read the news. Nice shorts. And hey, George, bet you can't do this in Washington. Wonder how beer and octopus mix. Time to change gears. And let's talk about Super Mario. A treat to watch. All alone from center ice on the breakaway. He fools Corey Hirsch, and there is more to come. The Magnificent One scored 5 goals on Friday. What do you think of that, Mike?
And if you missed this one, shame on you for 6 weeks.
To baseball now, where there's some very hot plays, like Jose Chico Lean to the Kansas City Royals. Great stab, outstanding throw, and some nice miscues. Just ask Tony Phillips. Jim Abbott is incredible, doing it all with his left hand. A tough week for Willie McGee as Todd Seal fools the fleet-footed fielder. Even fans made great catches this week. But the ball boys continue to struggle. Follow the bouncing ball. It lands in the guy's hood, up and down. The ball boy can't find it, but watch the fan. He knows exactly where it is. To golf now. There's nothing goofy about the Masters. Who was that guy? Just watch Andres Forsband on the 15th at Augusta. An incredible shot. Brad Faxon out of the sand and into the hole. And Masters champ Bernhard Langer. Congratulations. What a weekend in basketball. Some great dunks. A pair of high-flying shoes. And one costly miscue. How does the saying go? The bigger they are, the harder they fall? In superbike racing, the rider goes for a spill, but his bike finds a mate. While in soccer...
As John Catlett just headed it over the bar, this is Sweeney now deep right, looking for Bunbury! Bunbury!
Like, why is this man smiling? Why are these guys high-fiving? Why is this man half naked? And why is Gretzky so good? It was a tough week for Jose Canseco. For some reason, he just couldn't hit. He just couldn't catch. So he decided to try something else. How about pitching? Maybe this fan is right. Here's why Baltimore's middle infield is so happy. Double plays like this. Why do some of baseball's greatest superstars look so silly from time to time? Like Bonds. Error Bonds. Lance Blankenship. Mark McLemore. While others look so great. Brady Anderson. Dion James. Omar Vizquel. Dave Stewart. Greg Gagne. Kirby Puckett. And Joe Fan. What a catch. In basketball, we asked, why are the Sun Sonics tied at 2? And here's the answer. Sean Kemp. On defense and with the jam. Michael Jordan was really flying high this week. Likewise for Patrick. While John Starks could be a kicker with the Giants or the Jets. In golf, we asked, why pay attention? Well, first of all, it's good for your health. And your soul, watching shots from the sand that drop, or witnessing a hole-in-one, just like this one. In auto racing, we ask, hey guys, why are you going the wrong way? Well, time's up. We're out of here. Right, Terry? Quick, hurry up, fade to black. Oh, too late.
Everyone knows what effect a full moon has on some people. But have you ever wondered what happens during a lunar eclipse? Children are affected easily and attempt to lick the nearest pane of glass. Players forget what sport they play. Special teams make some very special mistakes. And others, well, they just lose an edge. Perhaps we're dealing with forces beyond our comprehension. It's even affecting law enforcement officials. Goalies seem highly susceptible to this unknown power and have been known to participate in unprovoked attacks. Eddie Belfour's a classic example, but you wonder if Mikael Anderson minds missing his teeth. Uncanny, inexplicable, and enigmatic. All words to describe this phenomenon.
Now someone touches the football here. Watch what happens. It's Leon left. No!
I have no explanation. All known laws of physics have absolutely no meaning. We can't control ourselves. You can expect the unexpected. And what are the odds of this happening?
Oh my! It actually went down and stood back up.
Routine can be interrupted, but then things go back to the way they were. Not all laws of nature are affected the same way by this oddity of space. Some positive things can come of this.
Good coverage downfield. He throws to Jackson. He got it.
How does Jerry Rice keep doing it year after year after year? Little John Blue knew exactly what to do. And it's no coincidence that weather conditions were eclipsing monsoons. If all this is spooking you, don't worry. The next time it happens is September 1996. If you thought that was impressive, how about checking this out? Backwards aerial ski jumping with a picture-perfect landing. Like, how about backwards sailboarding, dude? Surfs up like Ride the Curl. Trouble with traffic, you say? No lo problemo, cabeza. It's time to get caught up on the NFL. James Jett with a nice grab. Ride him, cowboy. Incredible catch by Alvin. And how does he feel? Well, I tell you what, I feel good. How about Joe Montana back to pass? He has Willie Davis wide open. Sorry, Willie, didn't mean to put it right into your hands. Okay, I'll give you a second chance. Yes, sir, that's the way to do it. Now it is time for our In Your Face segment of the Plays of the Week. Montana to Keith Cash. He cashes in, and what does he think about the Houston Oilers? Hey, buddy, eat a football. You know, if I didn't know any better, I'd say that was Joe Carter in a hockey outfit. Jeez, wonder if it really is.
Well hit down the left field line. Way back and
We interrupt our plays of the week to give you this short musical interlude.
way down low. Here's the pass. It is good if it goes. Oh, my goodness. Barkley for three. Oh, no!
Of course, this past week featured a day for the Irish, and it was the beginning of the madness. The joys of spring break. And Tanya Harding's flea bargain.
Will you go away?
No, we won't. Now, not everybody had fun the past 7 days. Poor Pat. They're at the post, and they are off. Dream Skater to the inside, knocks off his jockey, and then knocks down the starter's platform, and then he goes all the way around, galloping the wrong way. Now, have a look at this guy here. He can win $1 million by shooting the puck through the target. It looks good. It looks good. But somehow it stays out. Now, he thinks he's won the million. But they look, and he's a loser. Let's go to Australia now. The power truck races in Sydney. Watch the blue rig. That's the number 53. Looks good through the chicane. But the hairpin. The hairpin. Yeah, we told you, watch out for the hairpin. Now, this is Oscar week. Time to honor some of the best. Nominees for the goal of the week. First one, Kovalev.
Loose pass going behind the defense. Walks in. Yager shoots. Scores! Oh, what a play by Jaromir Yager. And it comes loose for Pavel Bure. Watch out for him. Going to go wide on Lipscomb. He gets it for a tip and scores! What a play by Pavel Bure.
Oh, it was great, but nothing better than this. Best dramatic performance by a head coach, and the Oscar goes to Rick Bowness, Ottawa Senators. Unhappy with the officials in Buffalo. Lets everyone know about it. Best point in the tennis match?
Oh, that's crazy. Oh, I don't believe that. Hey.
Oh, the worst attempt at humor. These Riddick Bowl wannabes, and that really was tough to swallow. Wasn't it, Tanya?
Come on, give me a break.
Never. On to the best performance by an animal or mascot, and the Oscar goes to Crunch, the no-look, over-the-head prayer, mid-court, and nothing but net. And our final award for greatness goes to who else? The great one.
Gretzky scores to tie the record in the game.
Oh, what a mad, mad world we live in. People are taking things far too seriously. In order to avoid ulcers, you must relax. Ride the waves, baby. Take it easy. Have a makeover, maybe a manicure. We've got some hot plays for you this week. Marquise Grissom, Brian McRae, Lenny Dykstra getting the job done, and how about Robbie Alomar with the stab? Will Cordero.
Magadan tests Cordero in the hole, long throw, and Floyd with a pick at first.
To some people, style is everything. To others, not quite as important. The main thing is the final result. It doesn't matter how pretty it looks as long as you get the job done, right? You can't let anyone stand in your way either. Whoops. And you must watch out for flying bats. Look out! Oh! That's enough to ruin your entire day. Style is also important when you receive praise from others. Accept everything and don't leave anything behind. Hey, Trevor, hey, you forgot something. Speaking of style, meet Buddy the Wonder Dog. This is no ordinary dog. Buddy can shoot hoops. He can score touchdowns. He's a Gold Glove fielder. And he can stop shots with the best of them. But Felix Potvin will tell you that anything a dog can do, a cat can do better.
It's a great move. Wrong.
We didn't forget about the hard court. Brendan Connor and Thomas Forrester show us how it's done. Watch this. Connor to fellow TSNer Martin Paul to Forrester for the lay-in. Beautiful. Before we say goodbye, we leave you with 3 words. Surf's up, dude. Give me a P-L-A-Y-S. What do you get? How about some great grabs like Mike Aldretti? Not once, but twice. He goes flat out. There's no choking allowed this week. Okay, what do you want? He's with the A's. Remember Jose Canseco?
There she goes. Way back. Let's see how far this one makes it. Goodbye. And this, a mammoth blast. Did that clear the light standard?
Oh, yeah. Spike Lee's a big fan. Give me some skin. Okay, so you're still not impressed, huh? Patrick, wake up this guy. And if he won't, then this lady sure will.
We're stock.
Hey, that's not a sport.
They're stock.
Got it. What a catch.
I'm sure everybody was watching TV stock.
Okay, let's shove our way to the Stanley Cup Final. Alexei Kovalev, a big reason why the Rangers are in command, but the goal of the week.
38 seconds left to go. 2-on-1 Adams in the middle. Craig Adams scores! The Vancouver Canucks have won it in overtime, 3-2.
Hey, I thought these guys were major leaguers, not the bad news Bears. Oh, yeah. Ride 'em, cowboy. The World Cup is just around the corner.
Golazo, Carepa, golazo, Colombia, golazo, Carepa, golazo, Colombia.
Too bad this guy's not going.
Golazo!
Until next week.
On our plays of the week. It's not easy to find good plays. Basically, you just have to follow your nose. Or perhaps use your head. And the rest will fall into place. For those of you who are adventurous, you can try the latest craze in sporting events. Perhaps downhill mountain running is your thing.
The whole thing was so incredible for me.
All right, back to work. It's time to sniff around for some great plays. But don't worry, we've got our crack staff working on it. Pardon the pun.
Here's a long one on a 2-0 pitch. Way back at the fence, leaping and making the catch. Here's Batista. Now the 2-1. Line drive into center field. On comes Diaz. He'll dive and he'll make the catch. He'll get up in front of first. Tino stretches. They got it.
In a hurry.
Exactly. And here's one high to right. Way back, looking up. And it's over the roof. Oh, baby. Tim Salmon comes back down. Comes inside. High fly ball. Deep left field. Henderson looks up. The ball is gone. And the Indians win the game. Manny Ramirez.
All right, you pathetic prehistoric purple pinhead. Time to teach you a lesson once and for all. Hey, stop skirting me with that. You may want to cool down these two guys.
Pirates come with the blitz. Here it comes. The ball is loose. The ball is loose. And Mario Perry has it. He's going for the end zone. No flag. 15, 10. He scores. No flag.
The whole thing was so incredible for me.
That'll do it, chicken. Your goose is cooked.
The plays of the week have been brought to you by Aptiva, the multimedia PC from IBM.
Here's Mark Messier.
Like the king says, time to rock and roll.
You didn't hear it.
Oh, Lucas can't believe it. It's Bigfoot.
From Morey. Hammer and Frusciante scores. Makes he scores. Oh, baby, the second of the night.
Ah, yes. Wonderful world of bowling.
The Saturday. Oh, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't
I just had to chuckle on that one.
How about that wonderful world of golf?
Is it in? Is it in? Yes, it is in! Yes, it is in!
Pretty funny, eh, Sparky?
I really don't understand.
All right, then. Let's move on, shall we?
MJ! Oh, nice look by Longley! We're up at Michigan State. Same type of call.
Man, Dennis, someone touched your lid?
Nobody messes with the dude!
Just funny.
I don't believe it! I don't believe it! I don't believe it! Unbelievable!
They're very, very good for us.
Oh, boy. Look at this. Oh, my. Whoa! What a finale.
Don't sweat it, Dennis. We'll be back next Monday. But until then, Reggie, bye-bye.
You might want to get out and try one of the 4 major sports to emulate your heroes.
To right center field. Myers and Nunley chase it. Myers, the ball drops. Molitor has his 3,000th hit, and he's chugging to third. And he's in with a triple.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. That's 20 on the night for Roger Clemens.
I'm going to be like Nomo. I'm going to pitch a no-hitter from now to November 5. The Brooklyn Dodgers had a no-hitter last night, and I'm going to follow what Nomo did.
メジャー2年目で夢のノーヒットノーランまであとアウトカウント1つ第5球を投げた三振野間秀夫ノーヒットノーラン達成
Well hit ball deep to right field by little Joey Cole. Goodbye, baseball. Holy smoke.
If you think those were sensational, follow the bouncing football for the touchdown. So what if you don't think you're good enough? Give it your all, no matter how uncoordinated you might be.
Playing Cal, it will be the Cougars.
Oh, in the hole. Oh, baby.
Speaking of big hits, check this out. Hey, don't throw in the towel just yet. You can always go into boxing to get into shape. It's the chimp and the challenger. The chimp pins the champ up against the ropes. But the champ comes back and gives it to the chimp. And down goes the chimp. Down goes Dole. Down goes Dole. It is over.
Y esto no perdona. Mira nada más, qué tremendo batazo por todo el jardín central, damas y caballeros. El número 40 de la campaña para Sammy Sosa, Grand Slam.
Hello, Canada.
Do I look excited, or do I seem a little, like I've won the lottery or the jackpot? Yes, yes. I'm in. I'm going in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, I'm supposed to have good hands. And I want to celebrate a little bit. Flag last but not least, Tommy McDonald, Philadelphia Eagles. Go!
I want to park my brains out.
And he likes what he sees. Can you believe this? Upper deck home run.
Down low. And where did Bernie go? Bernie thought it was ball 4.
Come back, Bernie, and take one more swing. A grand slam. Grand slam. Servido.
Grand slam for Buhner. Grand slam, Fernando.
Looks to the corner. Into the grave. He's got the touchdown.
Off the glove of Flory. Backhanded at second base by Offerman. Up the middle, Vizquel. Throws. Got him. Two big ones. There's a base hit off of John. Oh, caught by Bell for the out. And it's double play. That's hit hard. Diving stop, Benjamin. One out here. Ground ball up the middle. Morning diving play. Puts to the shield. Bare hand toss to first. Russo at short. The glove toss to Durham.
Hooks at the center. Andrew turns tail. Still going. He made the catch. He made the catch.
Ground ball to the right side. Alabama layout with a dive. Look at Ordonez. How about that one?
Played these beautifully all week.
Go in. Oh!
Now this is through the left drum. Look at him. He's quick too.